Looks like Anthropic is finally back as they have dropped their flagship model, Claude Fable 5. The Mythos class model that we have been talking about constantly throughout all the leaked videos has now been released as it's safe for general use because Anthropic added many safeguards around the Mythos preview model. And as I told y'all yesterday, Fable 5 actually dropped today. This is Anthropic's most capable general released model ever, as it beats their previous model by a huge substantial gain in software engineering, knowledge work, browser use, vision, science, research, whatever you name it. This is not a small update either, and it's not hype. This is basically Anthropic putting their top tier Mythos level intelligence into a version that regular users can actually access. Because the model is so powerful, Anthropic is adding safety safeguards, especially around high-risk areas like cybersecurity. But here's the crazy part. Mythos 5 is the same underlying model as Fable 5, just with some safeguards lifted for trusted cybersecurity use. So Fable 5 is already insane, but imagine what Mythos 5 is capable of doing. And interestingly, with Claude AI paid plans, Fable 5 is included at no extra cost until June 22nd, 2026, and this becomes usage-based after that, depending on the capacity. Now, the model also keeps the massive 1 million token context window, and it's built for long horizon reasoning, agentic workflows, extended autonomous operation, memory, tool use, and complex tasks that can run for days. I know the pricing is a bit expensive. You can see it in the top line where it is about $10 per 1 million input tokens and $50 per 1 million output tokens. And you will see from my generations why it is priced at this level. But benchmark wise, this thing is actually ridiculous. And I'm not just hyping it up, just stating out all of these different words, because Fable 5 is state of the art across basically every single benchmark. On Sway Bench Pro, it shows around a 20% jump compared to GPT 5.5, which I had previously believed as the best model in the world. On OS World, it scores an 85%. On GPT-Eval, it sets a new state-of-the-art score. And in agentic coding, it's setting new records across the board. Even on the WorldofAI benchmark, the Fable model does exceptionally well across every single domain, which is just incredible. Now, just take a look at this Minecraft clone, guys. This is a Minecraft clone that I had generated with the model, and it's a little laggy right now because it's loading in the world, but just take a look at this, guys. I have the ability to create torches. I was actually playing around with this because it's pretty fun, but you have different mobs as well that have been generated. You have a full-on inventory system where you can craft items. You have cave systems that have been generated. You even have the full-on functionality of the water dynamic fully created. Now, if I break a block, you will be able to see that I can go under the water and it has the mechanism fully attributed with this sandbox clone. So you see that I exploded, died to a creeper. And the token usage I wrote within this tweet is actually incorrect because Claude Code for some reason doesn't accurately display the amount of tokens. So that is actually my mistake. But I had generated this with the max thinking mode within Claude Code, and it did a pretty remarkable job in creating this full-on clone, guys. The fact that I'm able to create a full-on game is just incredible. You have multiple biomes, infinite terrain generation. You even have a day and night cycle with ores, cave systems, and so many other functionalities that have been generated. Also, guys, I just launched the vibe coding platform and benchmark this week. And if you want to actually access all the benchmarks and run benchmarks off of any model that you want, you should definitely use this benchmark tool because it's going to help you test models yourself off of my own prompts as well as tasks instead of just watching me do it. So I'll leave a link to this in the description below so that you can get started for free. Now, interestingly, on Cognition's Frontier code evaluation, which tests whether models can solve difficult coding tasks while meeting the standards of real production code bases, the Fable 5 was scoring the highest among Frontier models, even at medium effort, which is just incredible. But just take a look at the comparison of Fable 5 to Opus 4.8 and even GPT 5.5. There is a huge discrepancy in terms of cost to performance in every single domain of coding, guys. What's incredible is that the vision capabilities of Fable 5 are so good that it beat Pokemon Fire Red using only raw vision. And it was able to do this under 55 minutes. No map, no memory access, no navigation harness, and no hidden game stats. This is where it was able to fully beat the game in that span, which is where it's able to explore the world intelligently, battle the trainers, navigate through the menus, solve all the routes, and finish the game in the same way a human would. This is literally by just looking at the screen and figuring out everything on its own. And the fact that Fable 5 did this raw is just mind-blowing to me. Now, if you're looking to get started with this model, you can easily do so through their API as well as start accessing it through their chatbot. My benchmark tool has already deployed the model, and you can start running the benchmark and to see how it performs across different domains. And you can even use in your custom prompts to evaluate it on different domains. If you want the best AI tools, workflows, and drops before everyone else, join my free newsletter with the link in the description below, which is completely free. Now for our famous macOS clone, this is where it has created this beautiful OS. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the best functional OSs I've seen. Now, for copyright reasons, I believe it's not using the same placeholders as you would within macOS because I had generated this actually through their chatbot. You can see that the top bar is fully functional. You have a sound system that has been attributed. You can even toggle dark mode directly from the top bar like you would with macOS. The bottom toolbar looks to be really good. You can actually open up all of the documents within the Finder, which is actually really great. You have the ability to view through the Safari app. The music app even has a functional play system where you can actually play different audios, which is incredible. Now, you even have a full-on Photos app. This is something that it tried its best to create all the images. You have a Notes app, you have the calendar, you have the Paint app, which actually works, which is great. You even have a terminal. And then what's even nice is that it added in a Minecraft clone that I had actually requested, which actually works. So if you are to actually move around within the game, this is where it created a full-on 2D game, which functions in a way that Terraria does. You can move around, you can break blocks, and it did a great job in generating almost all the functions of this simple little clone that it tried to create. Now, I tried something different. This is where I clone the Windows OS now within Claude Code. And this is where it's going to be able to execute this task better due to it functioning within a harness. And this is where it did a pretty great job. It even nailed my name within the sign-in page. We can sign in with any sort of PIN. Once we have signed in, you will see how accurate it is based off of what an actual Windows OS is, where it got almost all of the functionality of a Windows operating system correct. You have the bottom toolbar, you have the notification system, you can even change the brightness, which is pretty cool. You even have the calendar as well as the notification tab that you can open up. On the bottom left, you can check out the weather, but you have the Windows OS or settings page that pops up when you click on this, and you have all your pinned apps. You have the ability to open up multiple windows. You even have the highlight function, which has been generated when you right click. You have all of these other things as well, like personalize, where you can change the accent color. You can change it to light mode, which is actually pretty cool. You can add in different wallpapers, the classic Windows wallpaper. You can change all these functions. But the fact that it was able to mimic this exactly is just incredible, guys. You have Microsoft Edge, which looks like it has been accurately generated. You have a terminal. You have Copilot, which has been added as well. So that is just incredible itself. Now, you have the recycling bin. You have the PC, which is kind of like the Finder for Windows. You have the solitary game that it actually generated, which is something that every Windows computer has. You have a Minesweeper game as well, a notepad, and a README text. Now, within the WorldofAI benchmark, this is where I evaluated multiple benchmarks and I had assessed it in different domains. To start things off, I am checking out how proficient it is in front end. I gotta say, this is a substantial gain across every other model, even Gemini. And previously, we had the Opus 4.8 as the best front end model, but now obviously the Fable 5 is in the lead. It is something that does exceptional with responsive layouts. It can generate beautiful agent interfaces. It can even generate almost all of the requests that you provide within your prompt, like the typography, different packages, as well as different movements. Like, for example, when you tell it to work with a scroll trigger, it is able to accurately focus on that function. It's also able to add in all of the elements that you requested within your prompt. And that is why I really like this model. The scroll trigger with this front end is definitely great because just take a look at this. If I am to scroll down the page, you'll see how beautifully well it did with this generation. One thing I will say, I wish it stops using that quirky UI style that it uses for every Claude front-end generation. The orange, black, and white theme that it uses for all of its design tastes. I'm not saying it's bad, but like it is kind of feeling like what we previously saw with the typical SaaS pages back in 23. Image to code is where this model does exceptional as well, where you can provide an image and it will accurately develop a full-on front end based off of the image that you provided accurately. In 3GS, this model does an incredible job. This is where I created an FPS game, a first-person shooter game, and you can see that there's different enemies. You have the ability to actually shoot these enemies as well. You have animations, you have an health bar, and multiple functions like a notification system. You have a full-on round system that has been added within this small domain. But that is just incredible, guys. I have different weapons that I can toggle. I have an inventory system with this generation. You have this animation. So the fact that it's able to do this with different 3GS tasks, like any 3D environment build, it's able to accurately build it based off a single prompt that you send in. The Fable 5 is actually incredible at physics-based front-end demos when working with 3GS 3D environments. You can see that with this example over here, where it's able to create a simulation with different blocks being dropped from a small distance, and it's able to accurately show you how the physics works with different blocks, different spheres, different shapes. And it is important that it didn't just generate the 3D scene, it actually handled the entire physics of all of these different bodies being showcased within this environment. When it comes to real-time WebGL, ray matching rendering, this is where you have this fully generated with the Fable model. You can toggle all these different settings like soft shadows. You can add in the ambient occultation. You even have reflections. You even have the ability to change the atmospheric fog, and the animations could be toggled. But the fact that it's able to do this quite accurately and code out all of these functions is just really nice. In 3GS, I told it to create an isometric room, and this is where I really love the quality of detail of a lot of these different things. You have the ability to enable something like the fireplace. You can even toggle the cat, you can pet it. And the fact that it's able to even show and display how it looks at nighttime is really good, and kind of mimics the same sort of quality as we saw previously with the Opus model, but slightly better. This is one of the best solar system simulations I have seen, which accurately and intelligently displays all the planets and their orbital paths. You can even see the asteroid belt. You can see how Saturn is moving accurately, and it was able to do a great job with this generation. It did this in Next.js, TypeScript, 3GS, and ShadCN packages for the UI. You can toggle through each of the different individual planets, and you can get a good understanding of what the planet's description is. And you can even change the speed of the orbital path. You can change the labels, and you can even toggle in the asteroids as well, which is cool. When it comes to SVG generations, this is where it combines CSS with this to actually create a lava lamp simulation. And it was able to do this with different wax blends. You can change the color of it. But the fact that it was able to realistically create an accurate depiction of this is just great, because it's able to show the real gooey lava effect. It added the interactive theme setting and even added in an atmospheric detail, which you can see is emitting from this lava lamp. Here is another SVG test where it was requested to create a butterfly, and this is a pretty good, nice structure for a butterfly in SVG. Only thing is, it was quite expensive to generate this, and you can practically get a similar generation from like an open source model like Kimi or even JLM. You see this? This is Fable 5, and it's insane at 3D world building. This is a demo that is completely custom built within 3GS, running directly within the browser. There's no game engine, no Unity, no Unreal, just browser-based code. And the fact that it was able to build out this beautiful 3D environment with different shadow paths, you have camera movements, and an interactive object-based system, it's just remarkable. If you like this video and would love to support the channel, you can consider donating to my channel through the super thanks option below. Or you can consider joining our private Discord, where you can access multiple subscriptions to different AI tools for free on a monthly basis, plus daily AI news and exclusive content, plus a lot more. Honestly, I actually owe Anthropic an apology. I have been trashing it within my videos, but they seem to be finally back. But those crash outs were valid. These MFs were doing some crazy stuff with the rate limits, the degradation of models. But regardless, they are finally back with Fable 5, and it is incredible, guys. This is something that you should definitely take a look at, especially within the WorldofAI benchmark, where you can get better usage and better generations using my benchmark and my own prompts. I am definitely interested to see what it's capable of doing in further tests, which I will be displaying within my videos in the next couple of days. But with that thought, guys, I'll leave all these links that I use in today's video in the description below. I even created a Minecraft, or not a Minecraft clone, a Pokemon clone. And this is actually pretty cool that it's able to generate all the functions like encountering a Pokemon in the wild. Let's see if I can actually get one before I end the video. There we go. We have a wild Banglet that appeared. We can actually fight it as well. It added all the functionalities of a Minecraft or a Pokemon call. I don't know why.